Good evening, Pirates fans. Lee and Ben here with another edition of Pirate Cast. I wanted to make sure this week, Ben, I wasn't sat there just looking gormless for 5 seconds when the show started. Yeah, that was pretty much me 2 weeks ago.
I was dancing away, mate. I'm just glad I stopped.
My video stalled out that week, and I was like, "What's going on? Oh, we're on." But no, welcome everybody. Got some great people already in the chat room. It's a Wednesday evening. We're not down at the track. You know, if we want to watch some speedway, you know, why go to pool? Why go to a track that's got anything to do with the current racing?
Steady.
Yeah, that's right. Right, we'll move on to that later. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got some great people already in the chat room. The chat room is popping off. Betty Lou says, "Nice hat on your shelf." Well, it is a great hat on my shelf. There we go. You know, if you can get yourself to, I don't know whether or not they'll do one of the Christmas opening things at the track shop.
I would have thought so, based on potentially what's happening now at the end of the season, as in,
yeah,
we're not sure what's happening. I would have thought Danny would do.
Yeah, but yes, it is a very nice, a nice hat. Belongs to Beth, my daughter, who is in the house as well, ready for this evening. Mark Dale, Matt Hector's in, Andy's here, Clive Tyres is in the house as well from Portugal, all the way from Portugal. Unbelievable.
He's figured out how to use the laptop or his phone. Well done.
He's on the Wi-Fi, must be.
Yeah.
Nigel Leahy, welcome. He's in the house. Hazel, Peter Grove, Neil Burrows, Carlito is here. Ian Clark, Rob Dyer, Pink Tuck, Alan is in. Alan Hickson, Mandy Smith, Pink Tuck. I'm probably going over them a few different times, and of course Beth is in the chat room as well. It's going to be great. Oh, hang on a minute. So we've got Super Guttering and Drone Services, and Carl as well. Is he doing 2 separate accounts, or has he just changed everything?
Hey, it's an extra view, mate. Keep it up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. We'll keep
That's the way I look at it. Views are view.
Before we get started, a couple of things we wanted to run through. There's been some news today, obviously, surrounding the second leg of the final. We're going to get to it. We're absolutely going to get to it. What we don't want to do, obviously, we've got a special guest here this evening with Zach going to be joining us very shortly. He's in the green room. We don't want to bombard him with too much about the ifs, buts, maybes, and the politics behind the whole thing. We'll probably ask him a little bit about the Kings Lynn track and all that, but we don't want to get into the deep and dirty stuff. We'll save that for after Zach's gone, because you know we won't get into trouble. Zach could probably get told off for it.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
we don't mind about getting told off. So yes, we will be talking about that a little bit later. If you're watching us right now, you're probably watching us on piratecast.live, which goes straight to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/piratecastlive, facebook.com/the Piratecast. We are at Piratecast on Twitter and Piratecast1 on Instagram. And don't forget to head over to shop.piratecast.live if you want to get your hands on some Piratecast.
I must check
merch.
Instagram again to see if Piratecast now exists, or
that's
it's still
see if
taken
we
by
can get it
that
changed.
baseball team or whatever they are.
Yes, yeah, from Wisconsin or wherever it was. Crazy. There is some other news on some other Piratecast medium that we will cover off a little bit later. Different ways you can consume your Piratecast goodness, and that again sounded better in my head.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah.
Right, shall we bring our guest of the evening on?
Let's do it. You introduce him. We will bring him on. He's waiting patiently in our green room there, and I will do the necessaries, changing over the backgrounds and all that sort of thing. But
so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We bring you the one and only Zach Cook, live from Bailey House. First season as a fully fledged pirate, and definitely a fan favourite. Zach, how's it gone? How are you enjoying life as a fully fledged pirate?
Yeah, good. When I sort of come in late last year for the last, whatever it was, 4 or 5 meetings in the end of the season, so like literally my first meeting as a come to pool, I was like, I knew I'd want to ride for him, obviously. And but this year I've just, it's been unreal. Just the fans, the promotion, everything. And I think just all in all, I think I've had a better season, which is sort of down to being a bit more comfortable on the home track, and when everything's going to plan, then makes life a lot easier.
Good,
fantastic. Zach, it's been it's been a hell of a year. I mean, probably the last 3 weeks have had enough stresses for you personally than the whole of the rest of the season combined, and we'll try and cover it off a little bit early. But my question for you: how'd you like Kings Lynn?
To be honest, I've never ridden there, to be honest with you, but I've been there a couple of times just with, I think, Jack Holder, just helping him, I think. But, your guess is as good as mine. No, it'd be right. Sort of, there's a few of us in the same boat, I think. But,
I'm kind of guessing yourself, Ben, and Nathan, I think, are the people who haven't. I'm guessing you're going to find Richard's advice pretty invaluable then.
Yeah, definitely. That's very handy. We've got him in the team that obviously rides for them, which will be a big bonus for us. But we'll just find our feed early on, hopefully, and then just take it from there. It's sort of good in a way that it's like a neutral track, I guess. There's no really home advantage to anyone, and we've had a home leg, so we got that advantage, and then we're going to a neutral track, so we've got to take a bit of bonus out of that, and we'll make the most of it.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, actually, I think, is, the fact it is a quote-unquote neutral track. Obviously, Rich, rides there on our side of things, but we've got Richie. What I'm trying to ask is, do you think there's any advantage one team or another, given the fact that we've got, obviously, Richard that rides the track quite well?
Yes and no, I guess. Like, as you said, Richard Well, he rides for them, obviously. And then you've got, like, Stevie and Danny that ride in the top league. And you got Nick and Kyle from Leicester that do the same thing, that they've obviously ridden there a few times this year. And so I guess that sort of cancels out each other. And, I'm not sure about the other guys in Leicester, what sort of experience they got there. But, it's work it out on the night and may the best team win.
Fingers crossed.
Good on you. And how personally, how do you think your season's gone so far?
Yeah, good. Sort of, I had a bit of a sort of lull in the middle of the season there. I don't really know what exactly that was or whatever, but sort of the last 3 months or something, whatever it is, I've I feel like I've come along leaps and bounds, and I'm obviously really happy with that. And it's never fun riding speedo when you're not going good and you're not scoring points, and when you're not scoring, you're not earning money. So it's always good, and especially this end of the season, everyone wants to be going good, and thankfully that's when I've sort of clicked, and just having a few good meetings, and which is handy.
Just in that, do you know what's clicked? What sort of turned things around? Because, like you say, you hit a little bit of a lull. I mean, really, I don't think it was. I don't think you could class it as a lull, particularly around pool. But you've been pretty unbeatable, particularly in the playoff and the cup meetings. Is there anything have you made an active change on something?
No, not really. I don't know. Just sort of had just a few off meetings, and it sort of I found for myself, it only sort of takes one good race in the next meeting to sort of forget about all that, and then gets that confidence back up, and then it's all guns blazing, and you're going to the start line knowing you can beat anyone that's next year, which obviously is a big thing in speedway. You can't be, if you're going to the line thinking, oh, who's next to me, are they going to beat me or whatever, and then you've already lost the race there. So if you're riding with confidence, then it's very handy. And no, I've just sort of I can't put my finger on what sort of click, but whatever it is, it worked.
Yeah,
Nice one.
absolutely.
Zach Cook with us for the next little while here on Piratecast, and get your questions in if you're watching live. Pop your questions in the chat room there, and we will pass them on to Zach. But first one we're going to take is from Number One Pirate, and they say, "Hi Zach. Firstly, I want to say how immense both you and Ben have been this season at Wimborne Road. Do you plan on staying with the Pirates next season? Please say yes."
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. Obviously, I'm living here at Bailey House, so it's pretty convenient for me, riding 10 minutes away. But yeah, definitely. Just apart from that, the club's awesome, promotion, fans, everything. What you guys do with this stuff, and they got the live stream on race nights and everything. Yeah, it's really a professional club, and I love the track. And for as long as I'm riding, I'd love to stay there. But with all the averages and how rules and that change every year, you never know what's going to happen. But if it had it my way, then yes.
Good to hear. Ben, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one from a regular, Ian Clark. Zach, would most riders rather have a more crowded summer race schedule in the UK rather than the frustrating postponements at the business end of almost every season, it seems?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you can never have enough time on the bike, really. It does get pretty hectic when you got 2, 3, 4 on the go, whatever it may be. But you're not having any gaps in your racing, and I feel like you're sort of at one with the bike all the time. Then when you're just straight into it, and if that's the way to do it, just box everything in and get everything done like as quick as you can. But now we're whatever start of November, and I think we've had like one meeting in like 3 weeks or whatever it has been, but which is not ideal when you're going into the finals and having that big of a gap off the bike. And
and I'm guessing as well for you personally, yourself and Ben are trying to plan when you can get back home for the winter.
Yeah, that's been the most frustrating thing. Sort of like we want to have a bit of a plan too when we're going, and like keep putting it off, and flights are just going up, and like how long do we wait? But we've got a flight booked now, so hopefully this one goes ahead.
Midler will top you up. He'll be fine. He's loaded. Next up, then from the chat room, from Rob Dyer. When you first came over in 2021, what came hard about being in the UK? Steady on, Rob. What was difficult about adapting to UK lifestyle, I guess, is the question.
Lifestyle in general or Speedway?
A bit of both.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Biggest thing is probably the traveling. Like, not necessarily how far things are, but how long it takes you to get to places that it shouldn't. Like obviously from Australia, where when I was growing up, the closest track I had was 6 hours away. So
wow,
that wasn't a drama, but it's just when something should take 3 hours, it takes 6 hours over here. That's sort of the most frustrating thing. But you come to grips with that, and you realise once you're leaving the places, you've got to go a fair bit earlier than what you think. But Speedway wise, the hardest thing probably was just like going to away tracks that you've never been to, and you obviously no practice, so you're straight in, and if you're not scoring, then as I said before, you're not getting paid, and that sort of makes things hard. But thankfully this year, which was a lot better, I wasn't going to any tracks, not knowing what to expect, which helped a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, brilliant. Our very own Nigel Leahy's come in saying, Zach, we're very, very lucky to have our Aussie contingent in the pits for final leg. Do you know if you're going to have the support from Brady, Jack, Chris? Are they going to be able to be in the pits at Kings Lynn, or will they all be gone?
No, not sure yet. As obviously that news has only just come out, so wait and see. It'd be nice to have one of them there just to sort of show me the ropes, I guess. But because Brady, he raced there whenever that was last week or something, so he's pretty fresh in what the track was like then. But so that'd be handy.
And again, how valuable is that advice to you? Because appreciate everyone has different setups, different kit, different frames, but how invaluable is the advice from the riders that have been there previously? Yeah,
that's obviously they know a lot more than you if you haven't even you've never ridden it. So it's not necessarily set up, but it's just racing lines where what to do, what not to do, and starts, and a lot of little things that sort of people probably wouldn't pick up on. That is very helpful.
Excellent, good stuff. Rob Dyer continues with the question. Zach, are you a pescatarian?
This is after last one with Richard, who revealed that he's a pescatarian.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Well, that's what
that
is.
Makes sense. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I'll throw in the next one as well from Michelle Pinktuck. Zach, do you prefer to ride against Ben or alongside him? It's always great to watch you both in the same race on the same team. So, I mean, the whole experience of riding with your brother, I mean, to look at that, we only got to look back at the end of the season last year where you had that sort of league capturing ride with you and Ben at the end of the year then, and that was amazing. But with you both sort of being permanent members of the Pirates and you do get on the track at the same time, what's the experience like? How's the whole thing work?
Oh yeah, just really, I don't treat it any different to if I was going out there with anyone else. You're both out there to do the same job as anyone else. You both want to get first and second, whatever it is. So I don't really treat it any different. Sort of just go and do the job, and but it sort of doesn't sort of phase me either. Like the whole time we've raced Speedway until we come to England, we were against each other. There's no team format in Australia, so that wasn't really anything out of the ordinary for us. So
good stuff.
So you sort of alluded to it there. We've got sort of a two-pronged question here. So we've got one from Unwild Daniel Roberts. Don't recognise that name, actually. So first-time question, I think, from him.
He subscribed to us on YouTube today, so he's all right in my book.
Good man. Hey, Zach, how long have you been riding Speedway for? And then Cole sort of chipped in as well. So when you and Ben were kids, did you both start out at the same time, or did Ben start before you, or you start before Ben?
So originally we grew up riding dirt track in Australia, like flat track, which we were on Pee-wee 50s at 3.5, 4 years old, racing that. We raced dirt track on 65s, 85s, up in 250s, whatever, and then pretty much till 16 sort of thing. 15. But first off, started into Speedway. We have like junior Speedway bikes at home, which are they're just pretty much smaller frame with like a 125 Honda engine in them, and I think you can first start racing them at 9 years old. So I can't remember exactly, but Brady Kurtz had one of them that we had to go on when probably a bit before that, I guess. And Ben was before me because I was only young then, but so he would have started a bit before me, and then as soon as I was old enough to do it, I was sort of on it and going from there.
Excellent. On the topic of Ben as well, a question from Andy. Zach, are you and Ben looking forward to racing back home in Australia and getting some sun? It's I know Ben's mentioned he's going to be doing some racing over the winter. I mean, to sort of open it up, I guess, what are your plans for the winter over in Oz?
Definitely. I'll be looking forward to getting some sun, just saying that. But we'll be pretty busy at home. We won't really have too much time off the bike. We got sort of Australian title series, which is a 5-round series within about 10 days. And I don't know how many 1,000 kilometers of traveling there is, but so it'll be full on. And there's state titles and individual meetings and whatever is. We'll be pretty much straight into it. As soon as we get home if we want, but so we won't really have time off the bike, which will be handy coming into next year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ben, you've got there's a question from Michelle that I think ties into one of your questions. I'll bring it up on the screen if you want to take that one.
So you've had sort of a kind of unique experience this season riding for Torren in the under-24 Extra League. How did you find that? Firstly, for me, how did that come about? And then has it proved again invaluable to you? Have you enjoyed your time over there?
Originally sort of mid last year, I think it was, we heard a bit of word that could possibly be a thing, this under-24 league, and Jack and Chris Holder, they sort of pushed me towards it, and once he sort of found out, and then I must have had a bit of a gap. It might have been after Plymouth sort of finished up, and before I was come and guested for you guys, I went over to Torren with Jack and took an engine over there, and had a practice for the day, and once sort of done that, and spoke to the management and everyone there, and sort of just come about, and I was lucky enough to get a spot, and once it all come about, and which was very handy for me. It was an extra 14, 15 meetings, whatever it was, throughout the year, which and on different sort of tracks. They're a lot different to England, which is good. It helps you in different ways. You learn different, like how to set a bike up a bit differently and different style to ride the opening tracks, and just different surface, and it's completely different, which is good. I think at this point in my career to be learning that sort of stuff and opening new doors, I guess.
And did you find it difficult? Was it sort of another step up?
Yeah, in a way, like sort of, like I don't really know anyone over there, so you don't know who you're going up against. But then, everyone's sort of fast out there. They're all grown up on these immaculate tracks and have the best equipment, and they're pretty fast. But I think it definitely was a step up. But held my own there, and I feel like I done well.
And I'm guessing as part of Michelle's one, do you think it's helped your progress the latter half of this season after completing those?
Yeah, I think so. It's more time on the bike. As I said before, I was riding there every Tuesday and straight into England Wednesday morning and down to pool Wednesday. So I think on that part of it, just kept me busy when sort of there was a few quiet times in England. And like I was able to go and practice whenever I wanted to as well when I could fit in. So I think that was sort of a bit help towards my progression.
Brilliant.
The questions coming in thick and fast in the chat. I'll get through a couple of them here. Lizzie comes in with, have you enjoyed your first season as a pirate?
Yeah, definitely. We're in the contention for 3 trophies, or 2 now, I guess, but I don't know what's going on with the Jubilee thing. But definitely couldn't have gone much better, really. Brilliant bunch of lads in the team, and I think that makes that's 90% of the team is having a good good bunch of guys in there that everyone gets along well, and pushes each other along and helps each other out, and it's been awesome atmosphere there.
Amazing. A couple of other questions that I will try and tie into each other. So first of all, Sparky H said, what are your hobbies outside of Speedway? And then Meg also says, if Speedway wasn't a thing, what sport would you do? So whether or not those two would maybe tie into to each other. But first of all, I guess back home in Oz, what do you do when you're not riding Speedway?
Just anything sort of motorized, really. Like I got motocross bike at home that we sort of do a lot of like bush riding. Like you can't really do it over here, but we got big national parks and that at home, and just trails riding out there, and just through like fire trails and stuff like that, and sort of summer anything to do with water, really.
Good stuff. And if Speedway wasn't a thing, what sport would you do? We spoke to Richard a couple of weeks ago, and he's obviously very into his motocross. Is that something you'd maybe look to do if you weren't riding Speedway?
I probably would have stuck with the flat track I did when I was younger. I've still done it up until I was 18, 19, but I probably would have stuck with that a bit more. And there's sort of a profession for that in America with the AMA flat track over there. That probably would have been something I would have stuck with if I didn't have the eyes on Speedway.
Good stuff.
Interestingly enough, we've got our very own Alan Hickson saying, when is Midlow going to appear, because he hasn't done already? And then in the comments, lo and behold, is the washing up done? I told you no computer until it's done.
Yes, it's done.
I'll await the cameo. There you go. It's done. See, Midlow. Zach. I mean, we were there ready for a planning meeting at Midlow's testimonial, and Zach and Ben are very good house guests. Yeah. I remember them, finishing the dinner, putting everything away, getting all that done. So I think it was brilliant. It was a good insight. Thank you, Midlow. Interesting one from Robert Cheeseman, actually, and I know it's something that a lot of people maybe haven't asked previously, and I know that I don't know the ramifications of it, but do you send any of your bikes and kit back to Oz at the end of the season, or is the kit here purely your UK stuff?
I've got 2 complete frames at home, so we've just got to send engines and just carbies pretty much. So, which is obviously a big help. it costs you a fortune sending bikes to and from every year. So just engines pretty much that send back, which it's easy enough.
Okay, good stuff. Again, Rob Dyer, where's he getting these questions from? We're about to come into I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here season on British TV. I don't know if you've watched it, Zach, but it's weird. Not one of my favorites. But he says, if you were back home in I'm a Celebrity, how would you get on with spiders, rats, snakes, and a meal of witchetty grubs?
I could deal with it, I think. There's plenty of snakes in Notre Dame, so
Actually, there's a twist on that. You could actually turn this, and this will be a difficult one. Who do you think would fare best out of the Pirates 1 to 7, and who do you think would fare worst out of the Pirates worst to 7?
Worst, I'm gonna say Drew. I don't think he'd like a snake. I don't know, he'd be the best.
It's got to be between you and Ben, surely.
Yeah, he's probably. Is that snakes here? No.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see one of you guys doing it, but I mean, they have all sorts, don't they? They have spiders, scorpions.
Yeah, we got everything.
I'd give it a go, to be honest.
I'm not. Yeah,
I'd give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go.
Well, good luck with that. Where are we? Ian Clark says, has Midlow ever been tempted to secretly switch you and Ben in a race if one of you is in better form, and who would notice?
Everybody.
I think everyone would notice.
Yeah. I think it would be quite obvious. I'm not going to point out the obvious, but you'd have
to ask me about that.
Yeah. Maybe he's done it. Maybe this is all an elaborate cover-up. It's happened all season, maybe.
Interestingly enough, obviously you sort of stay with Midlow, you know what he's like. How have you find the split team manager? Because obviously it's quite a unique position. Not many teams have done it before. But how do you find the split of having Neil at home and then you've had Javi for the away meetings? We've asked all the riders it, and it's quite interesting to hear you guys' thoughts on it.
Yeah, good. I like it when they're both at the meeting together, sort of thing. Because Javi's not. He doesn't really do too much on the program side of things, but he's really good with sort of psyching the riders up, I guess, and getting them in the game and sort of like with setup and racing lines and stuff like that. Javi's really good with that because he hasn't really been out of the game for too long. But but Midlow's unreal. He's with sort of the other side of things with your rider switching and everything like that. And hasn't got 25 trophies or whatever it is for nothing.
Exactly.
Let's see, who have we got? So Sparky H, again, more of a statement, I think, than a question, because I don't think this is likely to happen. But do you think now we're having the second leg at a neutral track, could we suggest winner takes all, Jubilee and League? Jubilee being decided by the score on the night, and League by aggregate score. Both teams left in both competitions after all. Interesting question that. I could kind of see the logic of it, but it's all for the powers that be. And I think they're, to be fair, I think everyone... Yeah, I mean, everyone just wants the league sorted, really, don't they?
Yeah, I reckon it's a good idea. Kill two birds with one stone.
Just say it's the league and the cup, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Makes sense.
Well, there we go, Lester. The gauntlet's been thrown down. Do you want to put it on the line?
Yeah.
A quick update from Midlow. It's 27 trophies. He's not pedantic at all. There's an interesting one from Fat Apples, actually. Firstly, well done on your season, Zach. How did you find riding at Bellevue? Obviously, you did get a guest appearance for Bellevue. And was there just how different was the track there between Poole and, again, Torren? Because, everyone raves about the National Speedway Stadium track. But what was your experience there? How big a step up was it? How did you find it?
I liked it there. I rode there 2019, I think it was, for World Under 21 Team Cup when... for Australia back then, but I forgot more about it then than anything. But no, it was good. It's sort of, I feel like I could have done a bit more than what I did. I sort of was all a big rush. I think I was had 3 rides in just the first few races, and then I was sort of done. And before I got to sort of think about anything, it was sort of over. But I would have liked to have a better go at it. But it's obviously one of the top tracks in England, and I think the racing shows that. But yeah, I don't really know how to compare it to Torrent and Poole, but yeah, every track's sort of their own, aren't they?
Yeah, no, agreed. Keep your questions coming in the chat room, guys. We're going to get to as many of them as we possibly can. I did find one just a second ago. Here we go. Carlito says, have any teams tried to this isn't specifically for you, I don't think, Zach, but have any teams ever tried to sneak a rider into a heat? Say, I think I mean stick Ricardson on a reserves bike and hope nobody notices. Always wondered if it's been tried before by some scallywag. I mean, it could work, you know.
There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, exactly. Keep those questions coming in, guys. I know it's difficult at the moment. We've still got one very big meeting to come, but and you know, if I ask you what your standout moment is for the season, I think you probably want to wait until the end of Friday to kind of say what that's going to be. But up to this point, what have been some of your highlights of this year?
Yeah, Lisi's come in with that as well. What's been your highlights?
Sort of hard to pinpoint just one, like any race you win's a good moment. The other week when I got the paid 17 at Poole was probably, I was happy with that one for the year. And I know I was at reserve, whatever, but still I was happy with that. And I think was it the Knockout Cup or something against Leicester? I think it was.
Yeah.
Or Glasgow, one of the two. But yeah, that was probably me. Standout one so far. Hopefully it's on Friday though, the real standout one.
We'll be watching. Ben, do you want to take? There's a couple more there.
Fat Apples has been on that. Beating Craig Cook at Glasgow was fire. Proper fired up the fans. The Poole fans don't have a good relationship with Craig, unfortunately. So that was always a good one. And your form towards the end of this season, like I say, you've been nigh on unbeatable, and obviously having your reserves been stunning. Yeah. Have you got? I mean, obviously you've said about the paid 17. Is there a favourite meeting this year, or is there a track away that you were like, yes, that's the one, I'm looking forward to this?
Probably Redcar. It's a good track. When we were up there the other week, and was that Knockout Cup, wasn't it? Yeah, but probably Redcar's my favourite away track. It always produces good racing and it's a good fair track. I don't really think Redcar as a home team have too much of an advantage there when everyone likes to go there and everyone sort of enjoys it. And so probably Redcar.
Okay. Go on, Ben.
Another interesting one from Robert Cheeseman as well. It was really awesome that yourself and Ben were involved in the PR that the club did as well around the schools. Massive well done for that. But you guys have been very forthcoming this season, very helpful. You've been great with the fans. I've noticed it when I've been in the pits. Nothing is really too much. You spend so much time with them. How have you found that going on the school visits? Is it something you expected to be doing? And then on the sort of flip side of that, do you see the benefit in it?
I sort of expect to do that. It's the least me and Ben can sort of do. We both live here and ride for Poole, obviously. And when Dan wants to do that sort of stuff, it's only takes a few hours out of our day to go and help out. And I think it benefits big time. I think after a few of them, you see some of the kids that you see at the school and they're down there and bringing their family. So that's a few extra quid in the gate that sort of you wouldn't have got without doing that sort of thing. And, you can only try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't. But if it does, it's a bonus.
Absolutely. I know Poole's unofficial mascot, Tommy Tucker, he was very impressed because you actually made it to his school. So, and he'd already been, geeing everyone up around Speedway anyway. So,
brings plenty of fans in.
Yeah, big pat on the back with that. It's just a shame because I've seen other riders do stuff on social media. I think it was Brennan was able to burn around a playground on a speedway bike. Yeah. I know that Bournemouth Poole Council would have a conniption fit here, but it'd be good to be able to do that because kids love that. That's how you get them hooked. So, fingers crossed there's more of that.
It's just good for them to sort of come in and see a bike sort of up in person and sort of touch and sit on it. Not many kids get to do that. They're always behind the fence watching, and for them to do that, I think it's pretty cool for them.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of different lineups of the year. Obviously, the same 7 riders, but there've been a couple of shuffle ups of the team over the year. But Pink Duck says, "What's your preferred riding number?" Obviously, you're slamming the scores in from reserve, but where do you prefer to be?
Wherever really. I didn't mind number 2 was okay. I was sort of there for most of the year, but sort of can be a bit hard. At home you heat, what is it, 1, then 6, 8, 10, you're done sort of thing.
Yeah.
You sort of just all rushed in, and before you know it, you're sort of done before the interval. But 6, I don't mind it. Obviously, it's pretty spread out, which is good if something's not going right or whatever. You got time to sort of think about things, and I think I rode at 4 for a little bit, but yeah, it was okay as well. It doesn't really matter, you're still going out there to beat 2 other guys and wherever.
And number 1 Pirate sort of touched on that as well. Do you prefer the reserve berth, or would you rather be riding in the first heat with your brother? And likewise, I will add on that. Being an informed rider at reserve and potentially having 7 rides, how much of a toll is that for you?
Can be more of a stress if stuff's going wrong. If everything's all good and you got no dramas, then it's sort of smooth sailing. But if something's not going right and you're struggling for setup or whatever, can be a bit of a rush, obviously, to get things ready. But when everything's smoothly, it's I don't think I've had that many. I think just 6 is the most I had, but it's easy going.
With that sort of thing in mind, and we've kind of seen the sport develop. Ben and I first started watching Speedway in like 87, 88, so long time ago now, but very different world back then. And the sort of sports fitness regimes just in general are a lot better. If you look at it in sort of Premiership football and things like that, players sort of 30 odd years ago, very different to the players now. What's your, I mean, you can go into as much detail as you like, but do you have like a fitness regime, or what you sort of do to keep yourself or keep the stamina up, I guess, for riding Speedway?
Sort of when I'm back home, I sort of do a lot of train with personal trainer at home, that sort of before the season, but sort of during the season, not so much. I was flat out with bikes and traveling and that, but I always sort of found like just being like keeping on the bike, you sort of race fit, and that was sort of, I found the best for me. But just as much riding you can do, and it's always helping. But just like pushback riding and stuff like that, and nothing too crazy.
Sounds good. I'm going to throw. I'll go on then, Ben. Do that one.
Sorry. One from Meg. I think I'll rephrase it a little bit. Do you have a competitor that within the league that you absolutely love to ride against, and it's a challenge for you? I know some riders do, some riders don't. And is there someone you love being paired up with at pool?
I don't think you got a favourite person to race against when you're trying to beat everyone, do you? I don't know about that one, but favourite, pool rider to ride with, probably. I like riding with Rich. Been at 6, I get a few races with him, and he's really good team rider, and he's always there, like ready to help you out whenever you need. And he's been really good, and I think we've sort of had a good little partnership towards the end of the season at pool. But I enjoyed riding with him.
Do you guys, like you say, your partnership sort of built up there? Do you guys talk much before going into that race about a first corner strategy, or is it a case of you guys know exactly what you're doing now because you've been racing together for quite a while? Whoever you sort of know who you're up against, and you sort of have a rough idea of what they're going to do, considering what the track's doing or whatever that may be. And you've always got a plan A, but if all goes well, then that works. But then it sort of evens itself out, and I've got backup plans and that, but you have a rough idea of what's going on, and hopefully that works.
Good stuff. We're going to put a cat amongst the pigeons a little bit here. Carlito comes in. In which order do you rate Ben Cook, Zach Cook, and Craig Cook?
There's only two in the equation, isn't it? I don't think that's directed at Zach. I think that's directed at us. So there's only 2 riders in the equation. So jointly for us. That's my answer. Difficult question for me.
Go on, Zach.
I'll go number 1, then they can sort the rest out.
Nice one. Good stuff. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Let's see. It says, me again. How do you feel after all these postponements? I know it's frustrating, but sort of behind the scenes when you're prepping bikes to sort of travel to Leicester and things get cancelled same day, is there a lot of arrangements that have sort of had to have been cancelled from a rider's perspective? I know you're not just, the bikes are sat there ready and you just hop in the van and go. There's a lot of things that need to be changed and sorted, I'd imagine. What sort of toll has it had on you, sort of behind the scenes with all of these changes?
Yeah, just a lot of frustration. You're getting sort of ready mentally and whatever to go and race that night or whatever it is the next day, and you wake up and you got a message that it's off, so back to square one again. And yeah, it's frustrating, but obviously you got myself and Ben, we don't have full-time mechanics, so we're sorting mechanics out sort of at each track we go to, and you sort them out, and it might be all good, and then it's cancelled and rearranging it to whatever day it may be, and then that mightn't suit them, so you got the extra stress of trying to sort of sort someone else out to help you and that sort of thing, which isn't ideal, but made it work so far, and hopefully Friday's just done.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
I think that's how everyone's feeling about it now, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Zach, it's a message from Clive Tyres. Have you been able to secure a doubling up Premiership place for next season yet? I appreciate you can't say who it would be if you have, but
nah, not as yet. Obviously, that was the plan for next year, to be doubling up, and then also be doing under 24s next year as well. So I would have been super busy, which I was wanting, but not as of yet, which hopefully that can come later.
Fit into place, yeah. And I'm guessing that's your aspiration. Ben said something similar. You guys seem to thrive on bike time. I know some riders like a bit of a break, but you seem to be in the same cut. So
we travel over the other side of the world for 8 months of the year. We come here to race, so that's what we want to be doing. We don't want to be sitting around doing nothing. So just try and make the most of whatever we can.
Brilliant.
We spoke to Rich about this a couple of weeks ago about track conditions, and obviously we've seen a few different versions of the pool track this year, from very wet to very dry to lots of dirt to not a lot of dirt, and almost sort of changed by the week at certain times during the year. But Ian Clark says there's been a lot of talk about track conditions this season. Are you pretty chilled about riding in any conditions, or do you prefer the track to be a certain way?
I think you ask anyone, they'll have a certain way they want to track to be prepared. Everyone's sort of different, but as long as it's no holes or whatever, and not 10 foot deep or whatever, that everyone can get around and it's safe, that's pretty easy going. If it is all that sort of stuff and it gets a bit dangerous, and it's not only yourself you got to worry about, but it's the person behind you that can just run straight in the back of you, and then you can be out for a few months. But no, we've been lucky down there at pool. It's been good this year. Had a few off days, but that was sort of more temperature sort of things and anything, and it's a bit out of their hands. But Terry's been doing a good job down there this year, which has been good.
Yeah, he seems to be quite receptive to the feedback from you guys. I know Danny sort of takes the lead, but I know that a lot of you guys tend to go up and sort of talk to him sometimes through the meeting, but during your track walk and stuff.
He asked for a bit of feedback off us, what we reckon, what we want anything changed, which is what you need in a track guy. They can't be just sort of selfish or stubborn and just think they know their way is the right way when they're not riding it, which I think was the trouble earlier on with last year for pulling that until they got Terry in there, which was obviously the better choice.
Yeah. Random mechanicking question from Martin Peters. How often do you guys need to service your engines? I think there was a phase actually a few years ago, particularly when we were in the top flight before you were riding over here, where it was sort of a thing around, they need their engine serviced. Is there a standard time? Is it how the bike feels? How do you gauge it?
Normally if everything's sort of running smoothly, and there's nothing sort of gone wrong previously, whatever. Roughly 35, 40, 45 races. Everyone's sort of got their different sort of amount of races they do on them. But so it's, every 7-8 meetings, straight out again and get service for another few races. But yeah, it's when you're in the thick of the season, that's sort of a ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one coming in from Rob Dyer. He's on one tonight. Zach, you're a pretty laid back sort of guy, but away from Speedway, what gets on your nerves? Apart from Rob's questions, of course.
I can't really pinpoint anything. I'm sure there is stuff, but I don't know off the top of my head. No.
There we go. Jack Arlo, definitely Connor Mountain after last meeting.
Don't know what he's talking about.
No, don't know what you mean. What else have we got? There we go. You've covered it off a little bit earlier as well. But Andy says, are you hoping you and Ben get a phone call from Matt Ford when you get back home in Australia to come back to Poole next season?
Yeah, obviously, be nice to be sorted before then. But
I was going to say the same thing. I bet you wish it. I bet you're hoping it's before you go. So.
No, I think everyone's got a lot more on their mind at the moment than that. They're trying to get meetings run and one, and obviously, I'm hoping. Obviously, I'm back here, and time will tell.
Good stuff.
Another one from Fat Apples. What's your hopes for the state championship back in Oz and maybe an Aussie championship? I mean, it's quite a strong sort of lineup of riders now, really. I know a lot of the riders are partaking in it, but fancy your chances?
Yeah, definitely. The Australian tiles, it's going to be tough. We got Doyley, I think he's doing it. Chris, Jack, Brady, Rowan, Tungate, Sam Masters, Nick Morris, if he's doing it, Dougie. It's nearly 16 riders that are over here that are just going straight there for 5 rounds. It's tough. Depending, there could be a qualifier to get into it. I don't know how it's going to work yet, but definitely, I think you're doing well to make the semi-final really in the in each round of that series. But I'll be obviously doing my best, and state title as well. Just aiming for podium really.
Amazing.
Good on you. Good luck for it as well.
Carlito is back in, and again, obviously one of the legends around Wimborne Road is Darcy Ward. Carl says, has Zach had a relationship with Darcy? I'm guessing their paths have crossed at some point.
Yeah, he runs a few meetings back home in Brisbane, and we've done a few of them. Not for a little while, with COVID, and there wasn't much racing going on the last few years at home. But we've spoke. Darcy speaks to us sort of every now and then, and we've sort of known him for a while now, and he's obviously got some solid advice to give around if need be.
Absolutely.
And then he's also asked, Carl, do you guys have a relationship off the track? I know obviously you and Ben stay together at Midlows. I appreciate the schedule is when it is full on, it's proper full on, and there's very little room for downtime. But you said how good it is having the bunch of riders it is. We've mentioned how rare it is to have the same 1 to 7. Have you guys sort of been meeting up a bit outside of it, or is it just purely Speedway meetings?
After some meetings, everyone's sort of got to go back, whatever, if they've got a meeting on the next day. But it's been good if sort of there's plenty on Tuesday and then Poole on a Wednesday. There's a few riders that stay here and have a couple of drinks after we get home and sort of a debrief really, and just sort of talk about things. And it's good. Whenever we can, we sort of make something happen.
Good times. Steve Shoveler just chimes in with just a statement, really. We're going to kick ass on Friday at Kings Lynn. Good luck to all the team, and let's bring the title back home. Couldn't say it any better. Isabel with the next question. I know you've mentioned Redcar a little bit earlier on as a great track, but if Poole wasn't around, what team would you want to race for?
I didn't mind. There's a few. Depends how far I want to travel. That's the thing.
Whatever's closest to Midlows.
Oxford, I enjoyed it, which is nice and close as well. But Birmingham, it was nice this year actually. So we're all right anyway.
Good stuff.
That's what I like to hear. We've covered a lot of the stuff around wintertime, all that sort of stuff, and we're coming up to the business end of the season. Obviously, there's a bit of unknown around Kings Lynn. What are your thoughts on Friday? I mean, it seemed to be hard work Leicester brought their A game and their gating gloves the other week, and I think you guys dug really deep to get that 8-point advantage. That seemed a difficult night's work for you all. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, as I said about Paul, I didn't think we were going to have a lead at all, let alone 8 points. In a perfect world, we would have liked more if we were going to Leicester, but I think that's a very handy lead to have coming to a neutral track like Kings Lynn. I know, obviously me and Ben haven't ridden there, but as I said before, there's a few guys in our team and whoever else will be able to sort of give us sort of a few tips on stuff. And I think maybe we have the upper hand, I think, and hopefully I'm right, but the 8-point lead, it's going to be handy, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, again, I can't say it better than Steve said it earlier. Best of luck from all of us. We can't travel up. Obviously, there's been the unfortunate cancellation of the coaches with so many rearrangements. There's not going to be quite as many Pool fans up there as we'd like, but hopefully we can get as many of us up there as possible for Friday to cheer you guys on. It's a shame they've got the second leg rather than lifting the trophy up at home. We don't get to see that, but we want to encourage all of you guys to tune into the BSN. Buy the stream, watch the Pirates. Wouldn't it be great when they look back at the stats for all of the season that it's the pool matches that get most of the purchases? How cool would that be?
Yeah.
And not only that, they provide great coverage, and you'll get to see some sort of up close and personal shots of these guys when they do, maybe heat 12, heat 13 when we've clinched it, and all the champagne goes off and there's bumps and all that sort of stuff. I'm touching wood just to make sure here, so I'm not tempting.
You can't say that on this show. You can't say that on this show. Know the audience.
Okay. Not after Rob's comments earlier.
I'm wishing all the luck.
Yeah, wishing all the luck. That'll do. But no, all jokes aside, good luck. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, obviously, with it being Kings Lynn and a track some of you guys don't know. But it's all to ride for. Let's do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone will be down there to bring that trophy back, and hopefully that's what we do.
Excellent
Thank you so much, Zach. Thank you for this season as well, and thank you for coming on tonight. It's much appreciated, and we wish you all the best on Friday, and we hope you have a successful winter in Oz, and fingers crossed we're welcoming you back next season.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Been
amazing.
A pleasure.
Take care, Zach.
Thank you,
Zach. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye. Amazing. Mr. Zach Cook there. Sorry, you were super big for a minute. And we're on the wrong side. Yep. Switch it over.
That freaks everyone out, including me.
Yeah. What a great interview. We've been Zach's one of the last Pirates that we've had on. There's only one more left to go. And people have been calling for it in the on social media and things like that when we've been we sort of had discussions, and it's Mr. Steve Worrell. So we're going to need to pin him down. Unlikely to get him before Friday, of course, but I'd like to think he's still going to be in the UK for the winter. Yeah, and we can maybe grab him and get him on. It'd be nice to have the whole 1 to 7 before the end of the year, mid-low twice.
That was an ambition. It was an ambition, and I'm confident we can get it done for everybody and for ourselves. I think that would be a tick in the list. But I just want to say, everybody, all these boys have been an absolute pleasure to deal with this season. It's been very straightforward. Nothing's been too much aggro, because I'm always dubious when we start getting in touch with people and speaking to them in the pits and what's the best way of contacting you. And then I'm worried about, if we have their phone number, I don't, reach out, do they remember them? And all that sort of stuff, anxiety central. But the boys have made it really, really, straightforward and simple for us. And I hope they've enjoyed their time. What we try and do here, I may not look like it, but we do our prep work, and hopefully we make it a relaxed atmosphere for them. But a massive thank you to everyone so far who's been on. And thank you again to Zach. It's nice. I know everyone, I sort of was a bit stubborn on this because everyone wanted, get Zach and Ben on. And I'm like, yeah, we will, but separate. They're both individual riders. Yes, they're brothers, but they're both individual riders. And to have them on together and not do separate interviews, I think is a detriment. So thank you so much to both of them for doing it. Martin
Pete says, are you saving the best till last, says Stevie Stalker?
I don't know, just harder to get hold of Stevie, to be honest, because he said
Yeah.
about doing it through socials, and the social that I tend to use, he hasn't replied, so we need to try a different tack. But
We'll try and sort it. We'll do our best.
The reason we got Zach on is we didn't want to have a time limit to try and get him on before he went back to Oz, because I don't know how soon that's going to be.
Yeah.
And Stevie being domiciled in the UK, I'm confident we can get him in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So 6 out of 7. We'll keep working on it, and fingers crossed. And a lot of people have said, are we going to keep going in the off season? And I think that is a plan. There are other people from the Speedway world. Yeah. Did you just look at me?
Yeah, I did look at you. See, I got it right as well. Look.
Yeah. That was weird. We're just amusing ourselves. That's all it is. So we are going to continue throughout the off season. Obviously the riders, we don't want them talking Speedway all over the winter, but
no.
If there are other people from the Pool Speedway universe, you might have to put up with the odd show, just me and Ben talking about stuff, as we did at the start of this year. We did some team announcements and sort of look at the team building as we went up to the season. So we'll be doing that.
I think that was a good episode, and I think if you watch it back, I picked Leicester out at the start of the season.
Okay.
Watch, I believe. I'm pretty certain I did. It seems a long time ago. Seem a long time ago, but yeah, I think we'll try and keep guests on. There's plenty of opportunity. I know Nigel seems to be a popular one in the chat room for everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll work on him to come on. I'd really like to get Christina on again after the controversial decisions in the Premiership playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would really, really like to get Matt or Danny on.
Yeah,
that I think is a goal for the close season.
Carl wants Alan Hickson on the show. I think he'd be entertaining. We should definitely do that. Especially because he's so nice about us. Thanks to Lee and Ben. So love the Pirate Cast. Needs to be a part of the pre-meeting entertainment. This is getting said a lot.
It is, isn't it? Mainly by Alan, but
yeah.
I'm happy for the support.
But no, there's a few different people we've got our eyes on for the close season.
Yeah.
Just to sort of run you through some of the other stuff we've got going on. We wanted to. I've saved this for after Zach's interview because we didn't want to keep him hanging around. Ben, you put the post out on social media. We appreciate not all of you can join us live, and not all of you have an hour to sit down in front of the TV and watch Pirate Cast on the TV. We get that totally. So what we've done now,
I think it's damn right disrespectful. What the hell are you doing? Why isn't it a priority?
So
I'm just saying, it's on demand, for Christ's sake.
It is on demand, but again, have it. Stick it on your phone or something when you're doing the washing up. Anyway, what we've done, this is something we've done on previous incarnations of the show. We have now got a podcast feed. So if you're a podcast listener, if you listen to other podcasts, I think in the vast majority of podcast stores now, whether it's Android, whether it's Apple, we're on Spotify now. If you search for Pirate Cast Live, not only can you randomly come across a few episodes from 2014, which are god awful.
I wondered if that stuff was still out there. I was talking to Darren Baker last night and said, I reckon some of the old stuff's randomly out there still.
Certainly.
On some of the feeds.
Yeah, I'll find it and I'll show you. But certainly, if you just go onto the Apple Store and search for Pirate Cast.
We're everywhere. I'm not lying. When Lee told me about this yesterday and sent me the links, my phone was just going bing, 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 bing.
So there we are. That is the one you want.
Oh, that's the old logo.
With the and then the old logo one there, you can get a few episodes of randomness from 2014, which is cool. But anyway, bottom line,
we will not be held accountable for the content or any offense caused in those episodes.
It's not great, but anyway, so all of our episodes are there and you can listen to them all on demand, and just the audio version as well. So if you've got a day job when you're out in the car or in a van or whatever driving about, you can listen to them throughout the day. So there we go, different way of getting hold of Pirate Cast. I'm also working on a new website for us, and I'm also working on a load of new graphics, a load of a newer intro, because the one we've got now that we've used all year was thrown together really quickly. But working on another intro for us and a whole new sort of effects package ready for next year. So that's
can't help yourself, can you?
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, mate. I love our intro.
Yeah, the next one's going to be good. You wait. I'll show it to you before we make it public, obviously.
Well, you don't have to show me nothing, mate. That's all right. I'm all good. I'm all gravy. Just on the There aren't any deleted scenes or outtakes. We are purely live. Seriously, the only outtake maybe I can't remember. There was something did happen in the green room, and I'm pretty certain we did explain what happened as well.
To be.
There was something that did happen, but normally, literally, the deleted scenes or outtakes would be our close shaves like 30 seconds before we go live.
Yeah, when it all goes tits up.
Yeah, being told like 3 minutes before you go live that somebody has half an hour. You roll with the punches at the end of the day, and hopefully make it look professional.
Yeah,
we try.
People are professional can say professional.
we're hoping that we're so professional with our prep and stuff that it doesn't look professional, because that's the intention.
Yeah, we're trying so hard to make it look as though we're not putting effort in.
Yeah.
Tanya says, good show, nice distraction from my mum being in hospital, thank you.
Sorry to hear that.
Absolutely sorry to hear that, and best wishes, Tanya, for your mum. Let's have a look. Thanks to you guys, along with Nigel, Rob, and the track guys. You all do so much for the club. Thanks, Sparky. Danny says, what about getting some old pirates on during the off season? Darcy Ward, Chris Holder, Magic, Greg Hancock, maybe go more back in years. All we can do is ask. I mean, don't hold your breath on a lot of those, but we can send some messages and see what we can do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just want to say as well, I don't think I said it because I got distracted, but the work that guy there's put in to do the audio thing was no mean feat, and I just want to thank everyone for their feedback, because I wasn't expecting a lot of feedback on it, and it just sort of lit up on the socials last night. Everyone going, that's brilliant, I know what I'm doing tonight, funnily enough, I had Mr. Maidment Properties himself around my house last night to get a quote for one of my rooms, and he said, actually, as I pulled up, one of your episodes started, and I said to him, I've got location-based alerts on, so anytime you come near here, an episode of Piratecast starts in your stereo. I don't know if that's a thing. I just made it up, and it sounded good, but yeah, thank you as always for your feedback, because we do it for you guys.
I don't know what to make of that. Lee and Ben, what do you reckon about me and Carl?
I'm sorry, we can't.
He's married.
Yeah, he's happily married, I believe. Also, Carl shouldn't be anywhere near a live show. I'm not going to lie. There's a reason he doesn't have a microphone in the DJ booth.
I mean,
I love you, Carl, but there is a reason.
It's one of our more popular episodes, one with Scotty Mitchell and Carl on it.
Yeah.
It's one of our more popular.
He was very well behaved on that, but he was still relatively new to the scene, so it'll be interesting.
As guest, she says. Well, yeah, we were thinking about this because my daughter Beth, who's over there, Zach's number one fan, is she came over
when he was on.
Yeah, I know, but she said, when was it? Was it Sunday night? Yeah. Sunday night, yeah. Said, are you doing another Pirate Cast on Wednesday? I don't know. Are we? So I messaged Ben, should we do Pirate Cast Wednesday? Yeah, I'll message Zach.
Yeah, I'll get guests lined up. Thanks.
But one of the initial thoughts we had, and go with us on this, obviously, we have the facility here. There's a private link we can share people, and maybe we do something along the lines of, I don't want to use the term fans forum, but maybe sort of one at a time, get some of you guys on just to talk about your thoughts of the season. You know, we're going to have some quiet winter months. Maybe we'll do a show like that and we'll just have a discussion with some of you guys. You'd need to have a webcam and a microphone. You can do it from a phone if necessary, or an iPad.
Yeah, your phone will connect quite well, actually, so long as you don't need to type anything. The phone works very, very well, particularly the newer phones, because the camera quality is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think we'll probably do something along those lines over the winter as well. That'll be pretty cool. Anything else you want to cover off, Ben?
No, just thank you for everyone's feedback and support as always of the season. Much appreciated. I haven't had any official confirmation, but I'm not convinced we're going to get another meeting down at Wimborne Road, which I think is going to be very sad. But maybe Dan will try and do some sort of homecoming thing if we're victorious on Friday night. I'd be surprised if he didn't, but you never know. It's been going on and on and on that, you want Ben and Zach to get home. You want Ben and Zach to be able to get home, and would it be the same without them? Yeah. Probably not. So we'll see. But fingers crossed something happens. And yeah, like Lee did suggest to me about the sort of fans forum of sorts. Maybe not even. We've still not kept it to an hour.
No,
I think that's our motto.
Well, yeah. We try.
But the fans forum ones, we can just do sort of snappy half-hour episodes about where we're at with signings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever be in a position to get an exclusive announcement. It all depends, but if I don't ask, I don't get. So I'll see what we can do there.
We'll keep pushing.
It can only be a no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can do our absolute best.
I get local press needs to be kept on side. First signing of the season, absolutely. But how about signing number 2 or 3, go to Piratecast?
Yeah, or even the last one. Just to finish the 1 to 7, that'd be great. Echo gets it half an hour after us. That'd be lovely. Let's try it. Anyway, so there's only one last thing to do, Ben.
We're done. That's all
No,
good.
we're
an hour and 6 minutes, mate. There's no time for anything.
We'll make it an hour and 7 minutes because I've got to do my pirate joke.
You've got a minute-long pirate joke.
No, but with everything, all the
okay.
I don't know what you're talking about with all the paraphernalia that goes on afterwards. Anyway, my amazing pirate joke this week.
Where's the delete button?
Stop. This is just for Nigel. Why can't pirates finish the alphabet?
I don't know. Why can't pirates finish the alphabet?
Because they always get lost at sea. Every time. What is that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
that joke doesn't work on so many levels. It's unbelievable.
Why?
Well, pirates don't get lost at sea. They attack vessels at sea. They know exactly where they are on all the other vessels. I know, it's my job.
Yeah, fair point.
I'm just saying. From a factual perspective, that was horrendous.
Well, Nige says thanks for the joke. Wouldn't be the same without. Thank you,
Nigel
Nige,
Leahy.
for the support.
every message you send like that, you fall further down my rung.
Oh, and then Colin
just brings
everyone back down to earth. What?
Colin, you've gone up on the rungs. You've overtaken Nigel on the rungs now.
Can you stop talking about your rungs, please?
Nothing wrong with my rungs, mate. They're solid steel.
Oh dear. Right. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We'll be back again pretty soon, hopefully with Mr. Steve Royal. We'll do our best to pin him down. If you start tagging him on social media, tagging him on Twitter, say you want him on Piratecast, and he can't ignore us. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think it's a case. Yeah, you probably can. I don't think it's a case of us ignoring him or him ignoring us. It's just us being on the same social media mediums at the same time, and him managing to squeeze us in. I think he's perfectly willing to come on, but we've just got to time down and get a time and a place. So should be good. Thank you very much everyone for tuning in. Great numbers. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you can. That would be awesome. Also, I always forget to do this, but just to do the stereotypical YouTuber thing, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you could please click the like button,
drop a like and subscribe.
If you can subscribe to us, that really helps us out as well. And if you want to click on the little notification bell, you get an alert for every time we go live or stick up a new video. It would be much appreciated. We don't charge anything for you to watch this show. We never will. But again, all that sort of stuff sort of helps us and gets us in the YouTube algorithm, helps other people find us and that sort of stuff. So that would be really handy if you can do that for us. Thank you so much. And we will see you again, hopefully, in the coming weeks. Best of luck to the Pirates on Friday. Next time you'll talk to us, we'll probably be league champions.
Everything crossed for that. Everything crossed. I don't know. I don't know if it's...
What are you doing? What's this? Oh, right.
I should have had it ready. I didn't, so sorry. But ring our bell, please.
Ring my bell.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
It's
deteriorating fast.
It's going to be a tough ask, but at the end of the day, Leicester top the league for a reason. They are getting promoted, or they're going up next season. So either way, it's going to be a great story. All the best to the lads. 8 points. It's going to be tight, but if anyone can do it, it's our 1 to 7.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Make sure you watch it. Support us on the BSN on Friday, and watch the Pirates hopefully win that trophy. Thank you once again for everyone for tuning in, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.